This is Packers Nation HQ, and today I want to break down exactly what this moment means for the Green Bay Packers as we head into one of the most important off-seasons of the Jordan Love era. Because now that the season is officially over, the question isn't what went wrong, it's what has to change if Green Bay wants to be the team delivering the next Super Bowl beatdown instead of watching someone else celebrate. And before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to Packers Nation HQ, leave a like, and drop a comment down below, because this channel is built for the real Packers community, the fans who live and breathe the Frozen Tundra, who understand what this franchise means, and who want to talk football at the deepest level possible. Because when I look at Green Bay right now, I don't see a team that's far away. I see a team that's close, but close doesn't hang banners. Close doesn't add to the 13-time World Championship legacy. Close doesn't echo through Lambeau Field the way Lombardi time does when everything is on the line. What I see when I watch this Packers roster is a franchise standing at a crossroads, the kind of crossroads this organization has faced before, from Bart Starr's era to Brett Favre's gunslinger years to the modern transition we're living through right now with Jordan Love. And the biggest lesson from this season is simple. The Packers have to win in the trenches again. I don't think this gets talked about enough because it's easier to blame special teams. Trust me, I've done it too. Packers fans have practically made it a hobby at this point. But when you strip away the noise, when you go back through the losses, the close wins, the games Green Bay should have put away, it wasn't always a missed kick. It was the offensive line failing to close games. Too many times this year, the Packers couldn't run the ball consistently enough to salt away leads. That's football reality. That's how you win in December. That's how you win when the air is frozen and the Lambeau leap is waiting on the other side of a fourth-quarter first down. The two losses to the Chicago Bears are the loudest examples, and that's what makes it sting even more. Because the Bears' rivalry isn't just another divisional matchup, it's the oldest war in the NFL. It's history, it's pride, it's the kind of game that defines seasons. And Green Bay, a franchise built on toughness, built on community ownership, built on the idea that this team belongs to the people, Green Bay got pushed around too often up front. From my perspective, that has to be priority number one. So how do the Packers fix it? It starts with Jordan Morgan. The first thing Green Bay needs to do is let Morgan play the position he was drafted to play. With Rasheed Walker likely heading out in free agency, the Packers need Morgan to step in at left tackle and be an upgrade, not a project being shuffled around. Brian Gutekunst has talked about cross-training him, but I'll be honest, this offseason can't be about experiments. This offseason has to be about building a foundation around Jordan Love, because Love's progression is real. You can see it. The pocket presence improved, the confidence improved, the command of Matt LaFleur's system improved. Jordan Love finished this season with over 4,100 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, and a passer rating hovering around 96, a clear jump from the year before. That's not fantasy, that's franchise quarterback production. But quarterbacks don't survive without protection. And beyond tackle, the interior of this line is where the real questions live. Elgton Jenkins may not be back. Sean Rhyan could be gone. The center depth is thin. Jacob Monk is a name but not a guarantee. In an ideal world, Green Bay goes out and lands an elite anchor, someone like Tyler Linderbaum. But realistically, this is going to be draft capital, and it has to be, because Matt LaFleur's offense is built on what coaches call the illusion of complexity. It's misdirection, it's motion, it's making defenses hesitate. But none of that works if the wide zone blocking isn't dominant. If the Packers can't reach the second level, if they can't create lanes, then Josh Jacobs becomes neutralized. And Jacobs is a massive part of the equation. From my perspective, Josh Jacobs gives Green Bay something they've been missing, a punishing, playoff-style runner. He posted over 1,200 rushing yards this year, and when he's rolling, the entire offense changes. Play action becomes lethal. The pass rush slows down. Love gets cleaner reads. That's Packers football. That's the formula we've seen since the days of Starr handing it off behind those legendary lines. And speaking of formulas, the defensive line is in the same crisis because the Packers' front is unstable. Rashawn Gary's future is uncertain. Lucas Van Ness hasn't shown enough consistency yet to just pencil him in as a cornerstone. Devontae Wyatt and Micah Parsons are both coming off serious injuries. And after that, it's youth, it's hope, it's projection. And hope is not a pass rush plan. One anonymous NFC North scout reportedly put it like this: Green Bay's skill talent is real, but their front is still a year away from being feared. In this division, you don't win until people feel you. That's the truth, because look at the division right now. Detroit is physical. The Lions have built themselves into a bully. Chicago is trying to rebuild with toughness, and you know the Bears would love nothing more than to knock Green Bay off its pedestal permanently. So Green Bay has to respond. They need to rebuild the defensive trenches the way they once did when Reggie White arrived and changed the identity of the franchise overnight. That's the level of impact they need. Not just bodies, difference makers. Because defensive shell coverages only work if the quarterback is uncomfortable. You can run 2 high safety looks all day, but if you can't pressure with 4, you're cooked. And that's why cornerback, while a need, isn't the top need. Corner play fell off hard late in the season, but I actually agree with the idea that it was connected to the pass rush decline. If Green Bay can consistently collapse pockets again, they can survive with average corners. Still, adding one more corner makes sense. Depth matters, injuries happen, and maybe even a reunion with Eric Stokes could be on the table after a solid year elsewhere. But the bigger story is still up front. Now let's talk about the position nobody wants to talk about: kicker. The Packers need to resume their eternal quest for stability at kicker. It was fun while it lasted. Brandon McManus had an exceptional debut season, but year 2 was brutal. He finished this season just 76% on field goals, and in the NFL, that's unacceptable. That's games lost. That's playoff seeding lost. That's heartbreak in the cold. And Packers fans know this pain. A Packers shareholder since the 1960s reportedly said this: "I've seen Starr, I've seen Favre, I've seen Rodgers, but nothing makes Lambeau quieter than a missed kick. It feels like the air leaves the stadium." That's real. You don't want to spend a premium draft pick after the Carlson disaster, but competition is mandatory. Bring in veterans, bring in young legs, bring in pressure. Because special teams cost Green Bay multiple games. And in January, that's the difference between the Lambeau leap and the long walk off the field. Now beyond the roster, there's one uncomfortable truth: luck matters. Nobody wants to hear it, but health and fortune shape Super Bowl runs as much as talent. Seattle benefited from being one of the healthiest teams in the league. New England had schedule breaks. Injuries shifted entire playoff paths. And Green Bay had bad bounces, bad timing, bad injuries. Coaches preach next man up, but at the end of the day, there are guys you simply can't lose. If the Packers want to bring another Lombardi trophy back to Titantown, they need 2 things. They need roster upgrades in the trenches, and they need the football gods to finally balance the scales. Hall of Fame analyst Pat McPherson put it perfectly: "The Packers are built like a contender, but contenders become champions when their lines dominate and their stars stay standing." That's the offseason mission. Because this franchise isn't chasing relevance. This franchise is chasing legacy. The Packers are the community-owned heartbeat of the NFL. The Frozen Tundra is sacred ground. The Lambeau Leap is more than celebration. It's tradition. And the road back is clear. Build the line. Protect Jordan Love. Unleash Josh Jacobs. Maximize Jaden Reed's versatility.
because Reed is becoming one of LaFleur's most dangerous chess pieces, lining up inside, outside, on motion, creating mismatches, and most of all, bring back the physical identity that defines Green Bay football, because the Bears aren't going away, the Lions aren't backing down, and the Packers don't exist to finish close. They exist to win championships. This offseason is where things change. And Packers Nation, the next chapter is already being written.